This is TLC To Go.
In our fast-paced world, information bombards us from every direction, especially, I think, if you're a health sciences faculty member.
Oh, that's so.
Staying current with the latest research, medical advancements, and yes, even teaching methodologies can often feel like a full-time job on its own.
It really can.
And then the monumental task, effectively imparting all that knowledge to your students. It's a significant challenge, one that many of you face daily. That's precisely why we're here at the Deep Dive, to cut through the noise, to give you that shortcut to being truly well-informed with insights specifically tailored for you. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the art and science of engaging lectures.
Great topic.
Yeah, we'll be drawing crucial insights from a fantastic resource, the UTHSC Teaching and Learning Center. This center is a vital support system for health sciences faculty, dedicated to fostering effective teaching practices.
A really valuable place.
Definitely. Our mission today is to truly unpack what makes a lecture impactful. We'll explore practical tips you can apply immediately, and we'll point you toward avenues for even further exploration, all with the goal of helping you transform your teaching approach.
It's an incredibly timely and important topic, wouldn't you agree?
I really think so.
Especially in the dynamic field of health sciences. Knowledge in these disciplines is constantly evolving, and the ability to think critically, to, truly problem solve, is paramount for future practitioners.
How critical.
So the effectiveness of our teaching methods, particularly our lectures, isn't just about conveying information anymore. It's about preparing students for a complex, ever-changing reality.
Yeah.
This deep dive aims to illuminate how we can move beyond mere information transmission to genuinely engage and empower our students, preparing them not just to recall facts, but to think, analyze, and skillfully apply their knowledge.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We hear the term engaging lecture quite often, but what does that really mean? What's the tangible difference between a traditional lecture and one that truly captivates and, well, educates?
That's a great question. An engaging lecture, at its core, isn't just about capturing attention, though that's certainly a part of it.
Right.
It's fundamentally about providing new insight and stimulating deep thinking and analysis in your audience. The ultimate goal is to motivate your students to develop new skills and to think in new, often more sophisticated ways.
Okay.
Barkley and Major, in their excellent 2018 handbook, put it beautifully. Interactive lecturing isn't just about transmitting information. It involves embedding a well-planned presentation within a sequence of activities designed to genuinely help students understand, process, apply, and ultimately retain new information.
So activities are key.
Absolutely. It's a structured approach to fostering active participation in deeper learning.
So it sounds like a fundamental shift in mindset. Would you say then that how we present the material actually outweighs the sheer volume of content we deliver, at least when it comes to true engagement?
You've hit on a crucial point there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely about the how. As Azer emphasized back in 2009, the approach to presentation often seems more important than just the content delivery itself for real engagement.
Interesting.
The shift in focus prompts essential questions for faculty. It's not just, what do I need to cover? But how will I actively engage my students with this material?
Right.
What specific visuals will I include to clarify complex ideas? What are my core educational objectives? And maybe what single new concept or critical skill do I want them to truly take away from this session?
That one takeaway idea is powerful.
It really is. These questions move us beyond simply covering material to strategically thinking about student engagement and deep learning outcomes. Now, despite their enduring prevalence, conventional lectures do come with some significant limitations. They often fall short when it comes to promoting critical thinking.
Okay.
And perhaps surprisingly, student attendance and cognitive engagement can be quite low. Schmidt and colleagues pointed this out in 2015.
So if student engagement is often low in traditional lectures, what's truly at the heart of that challenge? Is there a fundamental misconception about how learning happens that we often kind of fall into?
There absolutely is. Many traditional lectures, despite the best intentions, fall prey to what's known as the information transmission fallacy.
The information transmission fallacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the misconception that students learn simply by being told. It assumes that knowledge can be directly transferred from the teacher's mind to the students, almost like, a data download.
Like pouring water into a jug.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's simply not how our memory works. Our memory is constructive,
Constructive meaning.
meaning students must do something with the information they need to elaborate on it, rephrase it in their own words, discuss it with peers, explain it to others, or apply it to a problem to truly remember and be able to use it effectively.
Ah, I see.
The key insight here is that engagement isn't about telling. It's about activating the student's own curiosity and cognitive processes from minute one. If they're not doing, they're probably not deeply learning. And we have decades of evidence supporting this. Early studies, it's like one by Corey way back in 1934, and even more recent work, have compared learning from lectures to self-study from text.
And what did they find?
They found that students remembered significantly more from text because they could control their own pace, reread difficult sections, and elaborate without interruption.
Makes sense.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, broader curriculum studies, like one by Schmidt and colleagues in 2010, have even shown that more lecture hours can correlate with lower graduation rates and longer study times in medical education.
Wow, really? More lectures, worse outcomes.
Potentially, yes. Conversely, more self-study time correlates with better outcomes. This indicates that lectures, if not designed with true engagement in mind, can sometimes actually hinder learning rather than facilitate it.
That's a powerful point. So this raises an important question. If traditional lectures have these drawbacks, do they still have a place in health sciences education? Are they becoming obsolete?
Not at all. That's a
Yeah.
common concern, but lectures are still incredibly valuable.
Okay.
Their role, however, is definitely evolving. They excel at providing an overall picture, offering a high-level overview of key issues.
Like a framework.
Exactly, a framework. And they can uniquely reflect personal experiences or demonstrate complex research findings in a way that other formats simply can't. As Azer pointed out, there's a unique power in a well-crafted lecture.
And for health sciences faculty specifically, this means lectures can be strategically timed to really enhance other teaching activities, right?
That's nice.
For instance, a well-placed lecture can effectively prepare students for, say, a standardized patient session, making that hands-on experience much more impactful because they have a solid foundation before they even walk in.
What truly stands out here is another unique value.
Yeah.
The lecture theater is an excellent place to tell stories.
Stories, interesting.
Yes. Beyond just facts and theories, disciplines, especially in health sciences, have their own rich history, shared beliefs, and the human stories of discovery. Think about the triumphs in battling a certain disease, the decades of research that led to a groundbreaking treatment, or the ethical dilemmas faced by pioneers in a field.
Brings it to life.
Exactly. Lecturers, particularly health science professionals and researchers themselves, can share these narratives, the journey of scientific endeavor, its inherent difficulties, and its triumphs, which textbooks simply cannot convey. They bring the human element, the context, and the passion to the science.
I can see how that would be engaging.
It absolutely is. I remember one time early in my career giving a lecture purely on the molecular mechanisms of a disease. It was detailed, accurate, and, well, completely flat. Yeah. The next year, I started that same lecture by telling the story of the first patient diagnosed, the initial confusion, and the scientific detective work involved. The energy in the room completely shifted. Suddenly, the complex molecular details had a human purpose. And in a problem-based learning, or PBL curriculum, the role of lectures shifts quite significantly.
How so?
Well, they're not meant to cover concepts from A to Z, but rather to challenge students' curiosity, facilitate understanding of key principles, encourage exploration of new information in relation to prior knowledge, and stimulate a deeper understanding, moving far beyond superficial recall.
Yeah, so less about telling, more about guiding inquiry.
You got it. That's the essence.
So what does this all mean for your next lecture? For faculty members grappling with these challenges, what are the actionable strategies and practical tips offered by resources like the UTHSC Teaching and Learning Center, which, as we said, are designed to support health sciences faculty just like you?
Okay, practical strategies. We always begin with foundational planning, specifically understanding your curriculum and your audience.
Know your context.
Exactly. Knowing the curriculum structure, whether it's PBL, case-based, traditional, and the precise role your lecture plays within that structure is absolutely key. You also need to genuinely know your students, their backgrounds, what they already know coming into your lecture, and crucially, how to motivate them to learn this specific, perhaps challenging information.
And the UTHSC TLC really emphasizes starting with the end in mind. I like that phrase.
It's so powerful. It
Yeah.
profoundly is. This means defining 3 to 4 clear learning objectives that focus on core principles rather than getting lost in fine details.
Keep it focused.
Keep it focused.
Right.
Really think about that one new concept or critical skill you want students to gain and be able to do with the information after your lecture.
Right.
Then structure your lecture thoughtfully. A clear opening that sets the stage and prepares your students, a well-organized body that flows logically, and a concise close that effectively summarizes the main concepts. This includes planning a logical flow, balancing the big picture with relevant details, and importantly, integrating time for questions or short reflection breaks. Don't just talk at them for an hour straight. Now, to drive active engagement and critical thinking, you need to implement specific strategies. Start your lecture with an open-ended question or maybe a real-life problem to immediately link the lecture to practical applications.
Hook them early.
Exactly. For instance, if you're discussing a common pathology, instead of just defining it, you might open with, imagine you're the attending physician in the ER and a patient presents with these symptoms. What's your immediate differential diagnosis and what's the first test you'd order?
Puts them right in the situation.
Right. And for difficult concepts, use powerful visuals, diagrams, illustrations, 3D models, mini videos, or relatable analogies. Remember that old adage. A picture can indeed be worth 1,000 words, especially when dealing with complex anatomical or physiological processes.
The UTHSC TLC also really highlights the importance of breaking lectures into smaller, digestible segments and integrating frequent checks for understanding.
Crucial.
They even suggest aiming for about 1 slide per minute and limiting the information per slide, following what's often called the 5x5 rule, to keep the focus squarely on you and your delivery, not overwhelming text.
That's right. And just for clarity, the 5x5 rule generally suggests no more than 5 lines of text and no more than 5 words per line on a slide.
Okay, simple.
It's all about visual simplicity and ensuring your slides are a prompt for your voice, not a script for the audience to read ahead.
Got it.
And to stimulate critical thinking, use action verbs throughout your lecture and in your preparation. Verbs like comparing, analyzing, hypothesizing, linking basic sciences to clinical applications, or interpreting.
Active language.
Exactly. This language encourages students to think like practitioners rather than just passively memorizing facts. We also strongly advocate for introducing active learning elements within your lecture itself.
How does that work?
Well, it typically involves an initial individual learning attempt, perhaps through pre-reading or short focused presentations by you to introduce a concept. Then you present an engaging and relevant problem, maybe a multiple choice question for clicker technology, or a more complex diagnostic medical case that requires application. The next crucial step is elaborative activities. Have students engage in individual thinking, followed by small group discussions. This clash of ideas is vital for deepening understanding.
Peer interaction.
Exactly. Techniques like peer instruction. Imagine 2 medical students discussing a tricky diagnosis, challenging each other's reasoning and articulating their thought process. That's peer instruction in action, solidifying their understanding far better than just listening to you explain it.
I can see that.
For example, you might present a complex case. Give them 2 minutes to think individually, then maybe 4 minutes to discuss in pairs, and finally bring the whole group back for a brief debrief.
Structure within the lecture.
Precisely. And finally, you, the lecturer, provide short, well-prepared feedback after these student activities, maybe leveraging online media like short videos where helpful to consolidate learning.
And mastering the delivery itself. That's an art form that often gets overlooked, I think.
Absolutely.
This includes presenting just one idea at a time, maintaining consistent eye contact with your audience, and actively avoiding information overload at all costs.
So important.
It also means practicing and rehearsing your lecture until it feels natural, and skillfully using your voice, varying your volume, pitch, and rate, and incorporating strategic pauses for maximum impact and allowing concepts to truly sink in.
And the UTHSC TLC also reminds us to actively avoid common pitfalls that can derail even the best prepared content.
What are some of those?
Things like using too many slides or just way too much information on each one, presenting disorganized content, focusing only on superficial recall rather than deeper understanding, or crucially, not allowing sufficient time for student questions.
Right, leaving space for interaction.
Yeah. It's a common trap, especially for health sciences faculty, who are often experts in their clinical field or research, not necessarily in pedagogical theory. There's a natural tendency to want to dump all the knowledge they possess rather than curate it specifically for student learning.
Focus on teaching, not just knowing.
Exactly. Ultimately, your lecture truly stands out not just by your competence in the subject matter, but by empowering students, teaching them how to apply knowledge, how to find answers themselves, how to relate different disciplines, and most importantly, by addressing their genuine learning needs.
I think it's so important to encourage questions during and after your lecture and to allocate dedicated time for them.
Definitely.
This not only checks understanding and corrects misconceptions, but actively fosters critical thinking. It signals that you actually value their engagement.
It builds rapport, too.
Totally. And don't forget to encourage feedback on your lectures from students or colleagues. It's such a powerful tool for continuous improvement, helping you see what you might otherwise miss in your own delivery or design. Another powerful aspect here is how the UTHSC Teaching and Learning Center provides concrete avenues for health sciences faculty to explore these ideas further. It's not just theory, they offer tangible support right there on campus.
Absolutely. The UTHSC TLC offers a robust suite of resources explicitly designed to support faculty in developing their teaching skills and implementing innovative strategies.
Like what specifically?
Well, this includes their comprehensive TLC library for in-depth resources, the 5-Minute University for quick, actionable tips you can digest on the go.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's great. Also, the Teach Well, Learn Well initiatives for holistic development, and a comprehensive workshop library for hands-on learning experiences.
Practical stuff.
Very practical. They also offer TLC Connect for community engagement and peer learning, and extensive academic technologies resources like faculty technology resources and TLC tech tips, all built to help you put these engaging strategies into practice and really refine your craft.
Bringing it all together then, this deep dive into engaging lectures really shows us that effective teaching, particularly in health sciences, is a dynamic, interactive process, far more than just transmitting information.
Couldn't agree more.
It's about meticulously designing learning experiences that encourage critical thinking, practical application, and deep understanding, ultimately empowering health sciences students for their complex and vital futures.
So as you prepare your next lecture, maybe consider this provocative thought. What one shift in your approach, be it in your initial planning, your active engagement strategies, or maybe just your delivery, what one shift will create the most profound impact on your students' learning and critical thinking?
That's a fantastic question to ponder and a great way to think about moving forward. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We look forward to having you tune in for future deep dives where we continue to unpack complex topics and extract valuable insights tailored just for you.